This video is sponsored by Bityard. With over 400 cryptos to trade on their spot, perpetual coin futures, USDT futures, with leverage of 1x to up to 125x, you can trade foreign exchange, commodities like gold, silver and oil, and traditional markets like Nasdaq, all with some of the lowest fees available on any trading platform. You can use their copy trader to copy other traders with better performance than you, or you can become a copy trader yourself and earn a few extra percent from the people that follow you. Plus, you got 9 out of 10 stars from the Coin Bureau guy. Bityard! Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm extremely tired, but I've decided I might as well just put my face in the corner anyway, so you can see the reality of what Father's Day really is like, which is this. So basically a real quick video while they're watching Trolls World Tour. JASMY, we're going to look at JASMY. So overall we've been talking about altcoins since last weekend, getting in at those lows, for the most part making about 30 to 50% gain on the Bitcoin pairs. Now JASMY is no exception. JASMY's been a good one and one of the ones I've taken part in as well. This one's so far getting close to that 50% gain. Now, it's going from strength to strength, I have to say, but it's not broken turbo bullish, and this is one of the things we've always wanted for JASMY since highlighting it about a month ago as I suppose a wildcard coin that could yield maybe 100x somewhere down the line. Now, obviously, it doesn't look like it wants to do 100x, quite the opposite, and the reason I'm saying that I highlight this is because of not so much the fundamentals of the technology, but the regulation that's been approved for JASMY over in Japan. It's a Japanese token, basically, and they're pretty unfriendly over there, you see, for crypto, and so this has been given the royal seal of regulation approval basically back over there, which has made me feel a little bit better about looking and charting and highlighting this coin. Outside of that, it has had pretty decent pumps as well, and it was, I suppose, what's the best way to put it, Binance seemed to have something going with it. I don't know exactly what it is, but they like it. They like it. It's giving me Matic vibes. Now, to have Matic vibes in a consistent downtrend for the overall crypto market is not the appropriate vibe to have, but it doesn't mean that it can't be a coin that we can chart and potentially make trades from. So it's interesting to look at it, especially throughout this downtrend, and I'm looking at it here on the USDT pair. It's actually up today, so you're not really going to see much of this. You'll see little bits here and there, but actually JASMY is holding up okay, and we could base this on the way that the chart looks, right? Well, obviously that's why we're here, right? So zooming in closely, we can see this last big massive pump. This is a big pump from this considerable low down here. That was to the tune of about 350%. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. This could be the absolute low. Could be the absolute low for the whole market. Could be. I'm not suggesting that it is. But we've revisited that area of support down here. The support basically being what, 0.83 of a cent. Pretty low, pretty wrecked city, to be honest with you. And there's not a great deal of momentum or divergence building on the daily. But again, looking at a chart like this, especially on Binance, because it's not a very old chart, you're not really going to get much of that anyway. A little bit of divergence taking place on the MACD, again nothing to get particularly excited about, and the 4 hourly, and this is just its tether pairing, now crossing or trying to cross and maybe close above the centre of this Bollinger Band. The Bollinger Band's pinching obviously quite tightly, and you see things like this, especially Bollinger Band's pinch of a coin that effectively does have a lot of volatility on it, suggesting that there will be volatility to come. Now, is it going to be up or down? I mean, your guess is as good as mine at the moment. Bitcoin is anyone's game. I mean, we've been talking about altcoins since last weekend, as I moved into a load of them, scaling out now, and I'll explain why in a minute. But it doesn't mean that there's not more gains to be had. In fact, this could be where the party starts. I just feel like it's worthy of taking some profit now, considering what's taken place. This is a very good looking chart, and we've got a few of these. XRP's got a similar kind of chart to this on the 4 hourly. So we've golden cross on the 4 hourly, suggesting momentum continuing to gather to the up with its Bitcoin pair up today 13%. And from its capitulation dump where we were getting in last weekend, it's actually up close to 50% at the moment. The last tick up there, yeah, 50%. So similar to the way Chainlink has done a 50% move from its bottom to its current read now. And again, this is one of the main ones that I went in hard and heavy. You know, I don't need to tell you how many Bitcoins went into it, but there was quite a few. So this is what we were looking for, and this is what we've achieved. The reason I'm a little skeptical of these having continuation immediately is that this is your Bitcoin dominance on the weekly, and when you look at this closely, the center of the Bollinger Band, or the 20 weekly, has had a fair bit of respect on this chart. You know, it does have history, right? So this is where the alt season began over here, and on our way down we tried to hold and we couldn't. We went straight down. The money flow index for Bitcoin is extremely high, telling you to get out. There was a lot of money. They had just gone up 300% rally for Bitcoin at the time, and altcoins were absolutely wrecked, similar to the situation that they're in now. Kind of similar prices for the most part. But they had been wrecked, some of them to the tune of like 90-odd%. So a similar kind of environment, but the dominance chart was a lot higher. Yeah, here we found ourselves getting rejected on a 20 weekly, 1, 2, 3 in a row, and we didn't touch it until we managed to get up to it at this occasion, and I got another rejection from it again. Another one here. So the 20 weekly seems to be a pivotal area for the dominance chart. Even when we broke above it here, support, rejection. So again, it doesn't have to hold. It acted as support here and here, but it did break down once again. That's what I was saying yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, never underestimate altcoins. You shouldn't really underestimate them, and I suppose they have been underestimated, which is why people are now only just coming around now to recognise that altcoins have outperformed Bitcoin for the last week. But remember who told you first? Me. So I'm slightly hesitant to call for continuation because we are now approaching this 20 weekly. So I'll just get rid of this trend line, we don't really need it. You see the 20 weekly is just a tiny little fraction away from where we are, by the tune of what, 0.30% or something like that. 0.3% that is, 0.3%. And so we're 43.4 and we're currently 43.7. So not far from what could be the area where we bounce from. Now this could mean that Bitcoin dumps to 8,000 or something and takes the whole market with it with dramatic effect, and that would make sense. It could mean that Bitcoin has a really big bounce, all the liquidations for Celsius and everybody else that's in trouble all over with. That's it, they're liquidated, let's take this up again, let's have a massive dead cat bounce to the tune of 100%, and then Bitcoin starts to lead the market again, taking the sats away. Now that's the sort of thing you would expect to see from a chart like this anyway. So we're talking sats here. So this is your Bitcoin pair for Chainlink, right? Chainlink got its golden cross over here. It actually got its first one over here. The normal reaction you'd expect from a golden cross is to dump down into it to see how strong it was. Broke down on this occasion. Finally got another one over here, and we've moved all the way up to make a new high. I would expect this to have another retest, to be honest with you. And I know we're talking about Chainlink and we're not supposed to be, but we do have bearish divergence on the 4-hourly as well at the moment. So we should expect that for Chainlink. So let's have a little look at what this means for JASMY, because again, JASMY is a different kettle of fish. So on the 4-hourly, we've gone from high to a higher high, high to higher high. So there's no actual bearish divergence on this one, and the golden cross is quite young. The money flow index, however, is very high. This is the highest you would ever get a money flow index read, right? So this is extremely high, very, very high. I don't know if you've heard what I said, but it's very high, right? You don't normally get things this high. And again, it's only a 4-hourly, but we are thinking about it in 4-hourly terms, which would mean that, yes, we got a golden cross, which would normally have a retest of it, where so high on the money flow index, it's like the third day of Glastonbury for the money flow index over here, and we could be very easily looking to retest down into the, well, at best test the golden cross, which is around 42 sats. So that's 13, almost 14% drop from here, and then we might be able to pick it up. Might being the operative word. Again, we're likely to continue, even if we were to go up. We're so high on these oscillators over here that it would be considered bearish divergence by default, because you're not going to get any higher. So the 12-hourly again is still quite high. We are floating above all major moving averages, and again over this major area of support we've broken outside of the channel, which is great. We've worked on and completed over the last 24 hours a Ichimoku cloud pump signal, which means that we could just have one last little move up, maybe to this area around 53 sats, maybe all the way up to 60 sats. It's all very possible. And if altcoins pick up momentum, as in like they start steaming ahead, if that support breaks down on the dominance chart, then yeah, we despite everything being massively high, which it is, it can continue on. The only reason we look at things like RSIs and money flow index is to try and determine whether or not we're on borrowed time. And I would say when it comes to the money flow index on the 4-hourly, we are looking for a bit of a retest. But on these other oscillators down here, not so much. I mean, we are quite high, but there's no divergences taking place, so it's not showing weakness of strength. It's just showing overheated books, basically overheated volume, and that normally asks for a pullback, which would be required, I would say. But again, we look at this on its Bitcoin pair, and it's one of the leaders there, in the same league as Chainlink. And if we just move over to the Tether pair, we're 7% up today. They all merged together as far as supports are concerned. And in bullish terms, what you ever want from a chart really is you coming out of a consolidation like this, you wait patiently for the breakout, you get a low read there, that's great, and then finally we break out, and then the best scenario is that we come down to retest that support. In a bullish environment where things are bullish, unlike what we're looking at now where things basically just, it's hard to say the word really without throwing up in your mouth, but when things are bullish, you'd look at a formation like this and you go, this is absolutely epic, this is perfect, this is exactly what we want. We were outside of the consolidation, it's finished, this is considered to be accumulation, and we've accumulated and been blessed with coming down to the lower level of support where we might eventually start to go up again. Not obviously in a straight line like that, but start an uptrend. The only problem is the market doesn't feel very bullish, and so we have to look at this, as a bit skeptically. To be honest, we have to be a bit of a cynic when it comes to this. But it is what it is. You can't deny it. It has broken out, and again, the Satoshi pair looks even better. That had the same kind of read: consolidation, low, breakout, accumulation, and breakout of this top side of this range. And again, this range can be followed through. Can be followed a little bit further away, and we can see that there's tops and bottoms and supports as well. So again, I'm not suggesting this goes breaking super turbo bullish and does the 100x. I am just trying to point out that there could be continuation, but I would prefer to see a retest of those. So I have taken profit on almost all of these to their full entirety, because I've done my 50% gain now with the Bitcoins that I put in. That's a good result for me, so I don't want my sats to be taken away, but I am also I've got an open mind as to how this Bitcoin dominance is going to continue on. I am scared that it will find a bounce around here, but if it doesn't find a bounce around there, there might be some more scalpy trades to do. But overall, the general rule of thumb is when trading altcoins, you do want to be trading them at a resistance. You don't want to be trading them at a support. And this is a support, although it could easily break. We see supports break on a daily basis at the moment across the board. But you don't want to be trading altcoins or going into altcoins at supports on the dominance chart. You go into them at resistance, which is what we did last week, which is why we've crushed the market. We've crushed it. But yeah, we're on borrowed time around down these levels anyway, and the general rule is, get back into a Bitcoin position as we approach supports, whether it be here or certainly here or absolutely here. Don't be afraid to miss out on on gains that continue on from your average entry point. Remember, the best way to trade is to be taking slices out of price action, and that's been a decent slice. So when I was talking about the alt season these last few weeks, and this is what I was talking about, I was saying, like, it's not going to be like the ones you've seen in the past. We've been spoilt really trading into altcoins around here. That's not normal, and it was brilliant, but it's not normal. Yes, you can get alt seasons, and this has been one of them, and it may continue. It might not feel like an actual alt season, but it has been one, and it could continue to be one. But for the moment, getting back into your Bitcoin positions around here, that's my call. That's what I'll be doing, just in the event that Bitcoin either dumps heavily and then everything else dumps even heavier, which is very plausible, or Bitcoin gets a relief rally and outperforms altcoins. Again, looking at the altcoin charts, they are good. They do have bullish setups, and so they do require pullbacks to retest those setups in order to see if they're actually genuine or not, or if they've just been forged out of default because of Bitcoin's horrendous sell-off, which can be seen, I would say, not so much through the lens of a chart, but through the lens of necessity for miners and all these people who are in such dire financial situations that are required to sell because they need the capital. So yeah, I'm a little skeptical about what I'm seeing, but it doesn't mean that I can't apply my normal strategy over it. So 50% gain, nice one. Done it, done, dusted. Let's see if we can do a little bit more, but first of all, let's get back into our Bitcoin position. As in me, I'm not asking you to do anything. Get back into the Bitcoin position and see where we go from there. Right, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.